Alright, Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well, and Shalom to you, Akim, that are teaching this word around the globe with faith and truth and in sincerity. This is the brother Caleb from the GMS London Forecasters Camp coming back at you with another lesson to hopefully edify the Lord's elect. As always, I would like to begin by saying that we are the real Hebrew Israelites. The real Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians, and West Africans predominantly. However, you are going to get Israelites that do look like the other nations, because Israel has been scattered amongst all peoples throughout our various captivities. But if your sea line by your forefathers goes back to the man in the Bible that was named Israel, then you too are an Israelite, no matter what you may look like. Because the book of Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18 states that your nationality is determined by the lineage of your forefathers. Now that's a topic that I'm going to go into in this lesson, Lord willing, in some depth, because I was on my way to camp this week, and when I was on the way there, I think it was when I was on the way there, I stopped in a shop and I saw the cover of this newspaper, and I looked at this is a Sun newspaper, yeah. I looked at the cover and I saw it says a beautiful, let me move my picture. It says a beautiful little blessing. And you see this woman here, this is that supermodel, Naomi Campbell. So this is a beautiful little blessing. And it says supermodel has a baby daughter at 50. Secret boyfriend in US, is he father? And it says Naomi Campbell. Now, the first thing I thought when I read this, I thought to myself, you know what? I bet that she's been dealing with some wealthy Edomite, because this supermodel, she ain't going to deal with no regular down and out Jake, so she's going to be running after Esau. So I thought, I bet she's brought forth the seed of an Edomite. So when I looked at the picture, here you can see is a picture of her hand, and it says Bond, Naomi cradles Tot's feet on Instagram. Now look at the baby's skin. See, there's her hand. You can see what she looks like. She's an Israelite, but yet the baby's got leprosy, which proved my point. She's bringing forth a seed of essentially our enemy, because that baby is, unless that her father is a Jake, which I highly doubt, with a Jake with leprosy, I highly doubt it, she's brought forth the seed of the wicked. Now they're calling this baby a beautiful little blessing, but if she's brought forth the seed of the wicked, then that child is born unto a curse, and its curse, one of its curses is that it has biblical leprosy. Now, as I state in the start of the videos, your nationality is determined by the lineage of your forefathers. So therefore, if the baby's father is an Edomite, the baby is also an Edomite. So she's brought forth a seed of the wicked. Get some precepts here. I'm going to go to Genesis 3, in fact. I'll go Genesis 3. It's Genesis 4, actually. Let's read this. It said, actually, no, let me read Genesis 3 to start. Give some context. And it says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh the Most High had created. And he said unto the woman, yea, have the Most High said, ye shall not eat of the fruit of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, now this wasn't the serpent, it was a man, one of the wicked, which later came back as an Edomite, yeah? Through biblical reincarnation, because reincarnation is biblical. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For the Most High doth know in that day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired. Now this tree is talking about the knowledge of good and evil. It's not talking about a little tree in a garden with an apple or anything like that. No, it's talking about the knowledge of wickedness. There's this, if you eat of that tree, then you're going to die. And the scriptures say the wages of sin is death. So that's why we die, because of sin. And when the woman saw this tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired, and to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat. And she gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. When they heard the voice of Yahweh power walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahweh power amongst the trees of the garden. And Yahweh power called unto Adam, and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, The woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And Yahweh said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And Yahweh said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly thou shalt go, and dust thou shalt eat all the days of thy life. And here's the point, and I will put enmity between the woman and between thy seed and her seed, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Meaning that there's going to be enmity between those two seeds, the seed of the righteous and the seed of the wicked. Now, just finishing off, it said, Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desires shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Now, if we jump to the next chapter, it says, And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived, and bare Cain. And she said, I have gotten a man from Yahweh. And again she bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in the process of time it came to pass that Cain brought the fruit of the ground as an offering unto Yahweh. And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and the fat thereof. And Yahweh had respect unto Abel and to his offering, but unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And Yahweh said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And in the process, and Cain took of Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. And Yahweh said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not, am I my brother's keeper? And he said, What is this that thou hast done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. Now thou art cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond thou shalt be in the earth. And Cain said unto Yahweh, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, this thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face I shall be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond on the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. And Yahweh said unto him, Here's the point. Therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken upon him sevenfold. And Yahweh set a mark upon Cain, lest any man finding him should kill him. Now that mark that was set upon Cain was the mark of biblical leprosy. It's just to have no melanin in your skin. So if we go back to the topic of the lesson, what the newspaper says, a beautiful little blessing, this baby was born with a curse or the mark of leprosy, which goes back to her forefather Cain. Now, Cain came back in a reincarnation along with his brother Abel in Genesis 25. This is Genesis 25, starting from verse 19. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padan Aram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated Yahweh for his wife, because she was barren. And Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there are twins in her womb. Listen to this. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. So when the baby come out, it's red all over. See, you can see the flesh of this baby is kind of pinkish, red all over like a hairy garment. Whereas we come out brown. Well, for the most part, Southern Kingdom Jake come out brown. Continuing on. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Now the name Esau actually in the Hebrew is Issachar, which means wasted away is he. Why is he wasted? Because his melanin is destroyed from even before he comes out of the womb. So they've got no melanin, and they look like they're wasted away. And it says, verse 26, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. Now, I'm going to get... let me just read a bit more. And Isaac loved and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob sowed pottage, and Esau came in from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said unto Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. See, these Edomites love to eat the food while the blood's still in it. And that's against the law according to the scriptures, because you're not supposed to consume blood. So therefore was his name called Edom. Now if you go to Genesis 35 or 36. It's 36. Yeah. It's Genesis 36. It says, Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. See, Esau was Cain coming back in the reincarnation, and he was the progenitor, the forefather of the nation known as Edom, and the people which are known as the Edomites. So this woman, Naomi Campbell, has brought forth a child of an Edomite, not an Israelite. So therefore she's joining in league with the wicked, bringing forth the wicked seed. Psalms 58:3, let's just go there. And you might be wondering, how can I say a baby is wicked? Well, no baby is born innocent, man. Least of all an Edomite. Psalms 58:3. It says, let me read from 1. To the chief musician Elisheth, Midsham of David, do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So this baby here, go back to the picture. This little baby here was estranged from the womb. And it's going to go forth as soon as it's born, speaking lies. That's just a biblical breakdown, man. Can't get in your emotions over this thing, man. It's just biblical truth. It says, their poison is like, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Break their teeth, O power, in their mouth. Break their great teeth of young lions, O Yahweh. Let them melt away as waters which run continually. When he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be cut in pieces. As a snail which melteth, let every one of them pass away. This is what King David's saying about the wicked, the Edomites. As a snail which melteth, let every one of them pass away, like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun. Before your pots can fill thorns, he shall take them away as a whirlwind, both living and in his wrath. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. Harsh words. So that a man shall say, verily there is a reward for the righteous. Verily he is a power that judgeth the earth. So that's what King David had to say about these people. Let me go to the account where Miriam was cursed. Numbers 12 and 10. Let me read from the top. And Numbers 12 and 1. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, hath Yahweh indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? And Yahweh heard it. Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. And Yahweh spake suddenly unto Moses and unto Aaron, and said unto Miriam, Come out ye three into the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out. And Yahweh came down in the pillar of the cloud, and stood at the door of the tabernacle. So Yahweh was in the chariot, the Spirit of the Lord was in the chariot, Yahweh Shai. And stood at the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth. And he said, Hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, Yahweh, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and I will speak to him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently and not in dark speeches, and the similitude of Yahweh shall he behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? And the anger of Yahweh was kindled against them, and he departed. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. So Miriam lost her melanin. Where were we at? Miriam lost her melanin, and she ended up looking leprous, white as snow, as one of these Edomites. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not this sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and where we have sinned. Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed, when he cometh out of his mother's womb. Let me read that again. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not this sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed, when he cometh out of his mother's womb. So there you go. And Moses cried unto Yahweh, saying, Heal her now, O power, I beseech thee. And Yahweh said unto Moses, If her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out from the camp 7 days, and after that let her be received in again. So she basically got suspended from the camp. She had to depart from the camp for 7 days. And Miriam was shut out from the camp for 7 days, and the people journeyed not Johnny, not until Miriam was brought in again. And afterward, the people removed from Hazeroth and pitched in the wilderness of Paran. So basically, yeah, that's what biblical leprosy is. But in this day and age, that they'll talk shit, make up other definitions of what leprosy is, which aren't what the Bible's talking about. Now I'm going to get another precept here, bear with me. Yeah, I'm going to pretty much wrap this up on this scripture. Sirach 16 verse 3. Starting from verse 1, we'll start at the top. It says, Sirach 16, desire not a multitude of unprofitable children, neither delight in ungodly sons. Though they multiply, rejoice not in them, except the fear of the Lord Yahweh shall be with them. Trust not thou in their life, neither respect their multitude. For one that is just is better than 1,000, and it is better to die without children than to have them that are ungodly. For by one that hath understanding shall the city be replenished, but the kindred of the wicked shall speedily become desolate. Many things, let me read this again because it's some good meat here. Desire not a multitude of unprofitable children. So that's what Naomi Campbell's got. An unprofitable child because she's brought forth the child of our enemy, the Edomites. Yeah? If you don't believe we've got enemies, just read Psalms, the 83rd chapter. It says, desire not a multitude of unprofitable children, neither delight in ungodly sons. Though they multiply, rejoice not in them, except the fear of the Lord Yahweh shall be with them. Trust not thou in their life, neither respect their multitude. For one that is just is better than 1,000, and it is better to die without children than to have them that are ungodly. For by one that hath understanding shall the city be replenished, but the kindred of the wicked shall speedily become desolate. Many such things have I seen with mine eyes, and mine ear heard greater things than these. In the congregation of the ungodly shall a fire be kindled, and in a rebellious nation wrath is set on fire. Yeah, I'll end that there, man. I've made the point. Naomi Campbell sleeping with the enemy. Now, if it was an Israelite man hooking up with an Edomite woman, the baby would still be an Israelite child because the man carries the seed line. So an Israelite man can basically have concubines with the other nations, and it's not technically going off because your seed will be whatever your father was. So if an Israelite man gets with an Edomite woman, it's still going to be an Israelite child because Numbers 1 and 18 says your nationality is determined by the lineage of your forefathers. Let me get that. Numbers 1 and 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the houses of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upwards by their polls. So that proves my point. So Lord willing, that's just been a quick hit, edifying little lesson. Now, just to close this out, I'll say this. This baby has been born into this world at this time to come back and receive its judgment from Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. So while on the surface they may call this a beautiful little blessing, this baby is pretty much born to die. It's going to get destroyed. When Yahweh by Yahweh Shai makes his return. Because all of our oppressors are going to go into slavery. So even if the baby did survive, it's not going to grow up like children grow up in this society now where it grows up, it goes to play school, nursery, then it goes to primary school, then secondary school, then it goes to college, then it goes to university, then it gets a job, and it lives its life. We're at the end of these times, man. This world is at its end. So if this baby does survive the coming and destruction, it's basically going to be in chains and in pits, because that's the future of you Edomites, to be in chains and pits, and to be serving the nation of Israel, building up our kingdom the way you forced us to build up yours. And we're going to render unto you double. We're going to render unto you double in righteousness according to what you've done unto us and our forefathers. So with that, giving all praises, honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bahashem HaKadosh, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well in Shalom. To your Arkim, teaching this word around the globe with faith and truth. And until the next lesson, I'll do in the last day, Shalom. Wa Abba Ba, Wa Kam Yashwala. Shalom.